Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Southbridge's Veterans Day ceremony. I want to thank you all for coming today. This is the first one I believe we've done since I've been around, and I think I talked to Mr. Trombley, and maybe he remembers way back when, but it's been a long time coming, and we do appreciate you coming out this evening or this morning. We're live streaming this, and we also have it on cable access as well, so we'll be able to post that on social media and also on the subscription of cable access under YouTube. This morning I came out here just to clean up a little bit the area, and a gentleman named Tony came out with his blower as well from St. Luke's. And I just want to thank him today for spending his time when he didn't have to help us prepare for this ceremony. So I want to give him an applause, and he's right back there with his head down. There you go. Thank you, Tony, for everything and all the help you with the truck. Over here we have a table with poppies on it from the local VFW. So please, it's donations only, but if you just take a poppy as well, it's for today, and you can keep it for as long as you would like for Memorial Days and Veterans Day, but they're free. Please take one. In honor of our country and those that served, please face the American flag right behind me off to the side for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, Rick. Today, obviously, is a solemn day to remember veterans, and we'd like to ask Kurt Litchfield, who is the VFW chaplain, to provide us with the invocation for this morning. Thank you.
Proud of our nation, they answered her call, defending the freedom and safety of all. On land or on sea or in jets high above, they went out of duty in honor and love. But however they serve, Lord, wherever they went, please bless them and help them to know what it meant. And help us to thank them on Veterans Day, for we owe them far more than we could ever say. I'd like to do one more thing that's probably appropriate for today. In Flanders Fields. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely sing. Fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.
Thank you, Kurt. I think Haley remembers that we taught that over at Trinity. Pretty amazing poem. One to remember. I want to introduce Keith Roberts. Keith Roberts is our Veteran Service Officer here in town. Amazing man, retired Army veteran. And today he's going to read off the proclamation, the Veterans Day proclamation. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us here today. Everybody at home, thank you as well. Since the Commonwealth's colonial days, thousands of men and women have served our country in defense of freedom and liberty. And on November 11th, 1918, the armistice was signed in the Forest of Campaign. The Allied nations and Germany ending World War I, the war to end all wars. After 4 years of conflict, and since that day, every November, people from around the nation have gathered to honor our veterans, and there are approximately 388,000 veterans living in Massachusetts. And today, we are reminded of the great sacrifices and contributions our veterans have made to our country. And we honor and salute those who served our country throughout the generations with honor, patriotism, courage, and it is appropriate that all Massachusetts citizens remember the bravery of those who served their country so that their dedication and sacrifices serve as a reminder of the cost of our freedom. And in November 2020, the world will commemorate the 102nd anniversary of the armistice that ended the fighting in World War I at 11 a.m., November 11th, 1918, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. On behalf of Charles D. Baker, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, he hereby proclaims November 11th, 2020, to be Veterans Day, and urge all citizens of the Commonwealth to take cognizance of this great and participate fittingly in its observance. And on behalf of the state, the governor, town of Southbridge, and the Veterans Council, we thank you to all the veterans that serve past, present, and future. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. At this time, I'd like to have Representative Durant and Kaylee Norris from Trinity Catholic Academy to bring the American flag, the wreath, right over here and walk it down. During Roman times, to honor the brave, leaders would lay wreaths throughout the cities. Today, Representative Durant and Kaylee Norris from Trinity Catholic Academy will do this honor. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I just want to thank one person, Mrs. Grenier. Last year we presented this flag, actually on Memorial Day, and she took her time, volunteered her time, and redid the American flag wreath that will be presented at the Memorial Day parades, ceremonies, and Veterans Day ceremonies as well. So I want to thank Kathy for all the hard work she did on her own time to help the veterans and this town. We appreciate Representative Durant coming out here today. He's been pretty loyal to this town when it comes to veterans and other services that we have. And I would like him to come up here and say a few words about Veterans Day. But again, I want to just say thank you for all the hard work that you're doing for our community. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's we have a really nice day out here for November 11th. It's my honor, obviously, to be here, and as Councilor Adams said, it's important for me to be here. It's important because we need to honor our veterans and thank all of you for all of those sacrifices that you've made to keep our country free. It always strikes me that every 2 years we come here and do this after an election has taken place, and of course this year was a presidential election and a rather contentious one at that, which in some circles may or may not be over at this time. And it always strikes me because people like to talk about how divisive things are and how much difficulty we have, especially during an election season, and how tough it is for all of us to get along. But it always strikes me because this is the way our country works, right? This is what we do as a nation and as a free nation. We argue, we have elections, we talk about who the best candidate is, and this has been going on since the founding of our country. Our founding fathers, many of them didn't particularly like each other, and so they fought over what this country should look like. But one thing has remained constant over these 233 years, and that is that we've had a free democracy, a free republic that decides our own fate, that decides which direction we want to go in. And it has been the armed services that has protected and defended that right that we have to argue, to decide which direction we're going to go in and decide how this country is going to be governed. So all of these things that take place, we need to remember that it is the way our country works, and we should honor that. And we honor our veterans and thank them for giving us this country that has, over the past 233 years, become the greatest country on the planet Earth. And it's because of you and the fight that you have brought to others on our behalf, and the fight that you have taken on to make sure that we remain that free country. So it's my absolute honor to represent you and to say thank you for all that you guys have done and women have done in preserving and defending this nation. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir, for those kind words. Next person I'd like to introduce is a young lady who's in the 8th grade over at Trinity Catholic Academy, and I had the pleasure of teaching her a few years ago. Amazing young lady. I reached out to Trinity Catholic Academy and asked if anybody would like to say a few words about Veterans Day to get the youth back involved in what we're doing here within the town and in support of the veterans. So Kaylee, who is, again, an 8th grader, who hopefully her plans come true to go to Bay Path next year, I'd like her to come up here and say a few words about Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is not just about mourning the losses of men and women who've served in the armed forces. It is also about celebrating those who are still with us. I have several family members who have served or are serving in different branches of the military, and 2 are listed on the monument on Main Street. I am proud of my family and other men and women who have served because it takes a lot of courage and commitment to be in the military. It not only takes the commitment of people serving, but also the commitment of their family. It is a lifelong journey that unfortunately not everyone comes home from.
Thank you, Kaylee. What takes courage is a young lady to come up here in front of complete strangers to say a few words, especially about her family and those that she does not know, and those families that are circled over at our Gold Star Mothers Rotary over here in town. So thank you again for coming out here and speaking. Next, I'd like to introduce the chairman of the Town Council of Southbridge. A few weeks ago, actually, we've been talking about this for a few months now, and I want to thank him personally, from a veteran to a gentleman who has a son who will soon be a veteran but is on active duty. And we had a nice conversation about changing some of the mindsets of our town and through veterans' causes. And one of these causes is to make this town a Purple Heart community. And he made it happen. He put it on the agenda. We spoke. We did chairman chat. And I want to thank him personally again for all he's done. But I'm going to introduce Chairman Jovan to come up here and to speak a few words, talk about the proclamation. And Jack, it's all yours.
Thank you, Veterans Council President Adams and fellow councilor. It's quite an honor as chairman of the town council to represent the town here today at this very special Veterans Day. I'm honored as chairman to be joined by my vice chairman, John Daniel, Councilor Adams, Councilor Steves, Councilor Marchetti. I convey all the thanks and graciousness from our council to our community. It is very special, as Kaylee said, to have family members listed on the monument behind us. My grandfather is listed as a Southbridge resident that proudly served in World War II. And it's something to come down here to look at all the names of the veterans that have served our country to what Representative Durant said to be the greatest country in this world. Those veterans' names that are behind us that served quietly to preserve the freedoms that we have. And it is important in this divisive time to recognize that we have the right to disagree, and that's what makes us great. So on behalf of the Town Council, we thank all the veterans that are here today and that have served our community. As Councilor Adams stated, it was very, when he came to me to talk about the Purple Heart community and what it meant, it is important for us to recognize those individuals that on the battlefield were injured and were awarded the Purple Heart, because it's given to ones that are injured in the line of service to our country. So on behalf of the town of Southbridge, our proclamation is that we are a Purple Heart community. From the Military Order of the Purple Heart, whereas the people of Southbridge, Mass. Have great admiration and the utmost gratitude for all the citizens of our community who have selflessly served in the armed forces that has been vital in maintaining the freedom and the way of life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas citizens of our community have been killed in action while serving in the armed forces and have been posthumously awarded the Purple Heart for their ultimate sacrifice. And whereas citizens of our community have been awarded the Purple Heart for their bodily sacrifice of being wounded by the hand of the enemy while engaged in combat. And whereas the Purple Heart is the oldest American military decoration and was created as the badge of military merit, made of purple cloth in the shape of a heart with the word merit sewn upon it, on August 7th, 1782 in Newburgh, New York by George Washington, then reestablished as the Purple Heart on February 22nd, 1932 by General Douglas MacArthur. And whereas the heritage it represents is sacred to those who know the price paid to wear the Purple Heart. And whereas August 7th is nationally recognized as the Purple Heart Day, now therefore be it proclaimed, we, the Southbridge Town Council, hereby proclaim Southbridge, Massachusetts, a Purple Heart community, honoring the service and sacrifice of those from our community who were awarded the Purple Heart while serving in our nation's wars. And also be it proclaimed that Southbridge, Massachusetts will recognize August 7th annually as Purple Heart Day and urge our citizens and organizations to display the American flag as well as other public expressions of recognition of our Purple Heart recipients and witness, therefore, this second day of November 2020 by John D. Jovan, Chairman of the Southbridge Town Council. Again, our many thanks to those who serve our great nation. And we are fortunate today to have a Purple Heart recipient with us today, Mr. Harry Kusin. Thank you for your service to our community. And if there's anyone else out there, I'm not sure if there's anyone else there that has a Purple Heart, but again, thank you all for the service to Southbridge and our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack, for those kind words, and thank you, Harry, for attending today, and anybody else that are recipients of the Purple Heart. Brings a lot of memories back. So we're finishing up this ceremony today. But I did want to mention that the Veterans Council, who put the ceremony on today and from Memorial Day, has taken a look at the park that we stand in to this day and how much it means to our community. But we also know that there's monuments throughout the town that were neighborhood monuments that don't get the love or recognition they should, and most of those small monuments are of those Southbridge residents who died in World War I. We also have some monuments around town that no longer, again, get the recognition that they so deserve. And we would like to somehow bring that all together to show the sacrifices of our veterans within our town. And one thing that we've decided to do was, and we still have to go to the town council for ultimate approval for this, is to remodel this park. And not on taxpayer dime, but through donations of companies, Southbridge residents, veterans, family members of veterans. And it's a big undertaking, or it's a big taking, but I think it's something that we must do, and I know that we can do it based on the information I've received so far. In the next month or so, we will have a conceptual design paid by the Veterans Council of Southbridge that we can present to the trustees, soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Airmen's Board within our town, and to the town council and the residents of our great town. And we want to recognize all that, and we want to make this a place where people are welcome, but can sit and reflect, meditate, whatever they'd like to do, but it's something to honor those individuals that took the time out of their lives to sacrifice and serve their great country and their community. That will be coming very soon, and we will bring the initiative to the town council as soon as we can, but it's going to happen, and we're going to make it happen somehow with the support of our community. I'd like to thank all the volunteers today, all the veterans that are standing amongst us. I want to thank Kaylee for taking time out of her busy day today in school, coming down to give a speech. Chairman of the town council and all council members that are here, Representative Durant as well. And I want to thank all those that may have just come down here just to recognize and show support for the local veterans. At this time, we'd like to finish today's Veterans Day ceremony with the playing of our Armed Forces medley, and then that will conclude our ceremony for this morning. Thank you. Thank you for attending. Have a wonderful Veterans Day.